This is Reframe, the podcast from the College of Education, Health, and Society on the campus of Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. This story begins with an aspiring school psychologist who splits his time between two schools in Hamilton County, Ohio. He's helping to support a severely understaffed area of education to provide a critical service desperately needed in most school districts everywhere, and all while getting the experience he'll need to soon do the job himself.
So I work in two schools. One of the schools I work in 1 day a week and the other 2 days a week. I kind of assist the school psychologists there, try to lighten their workload a little bit. So this past year, I've been in schools being part of team meetings, writing up reports, so achievement reports, reports on students' adaptive behavior that are used to make decisions about their needs and how we're going to deliver services. And a lot of the stuff that I produce is actually used to make important educational decisions.
That's Chris Perry. He's a Miami University educational psychology graduate student, and during the week, he works directly alongside professional school psychologists to help boost the academic, social, and emotional success of students.
I'm being trained basically to go right into the field, which is a great opportunity for me, and I'm sure that really helps them too, having eventually more professionals who are aware of what they do and are qualified to just jump right in right from their training.
Chris has been placed in these schools by the Hamilton County Educational Service Center, otherwise known as the ESC for short. He's part of a new plan to confront the national shortage of school psychologists, which is a critical challenge faced by most school districts today. Because across the nation, at a time when the number of school psychologists is down, mental health and trauma-related issues among K-12 school-age youth are up. And so is the growing concern among parents, teachers, and administrators who are witness to alarming new trends, such as the rise in suicides and suicidal behavior among youth, and a rise in other mental health issues, such as depression and anxiety and ADHD. But this plan, which involves a partnership between Miami University and the Hamilton County ESC, may provide a way to offer some proactive solutions now and before things get worse. The National Association of School Psychologists recommends one school psychologist for every 500 to 700 students. Today, however, the average national ratio is closer to one school psychologist for every 1,400 students, and in some areas, it's almost one for every 5,000 students. Many of the vacancies left by retiring professionals are just not being filled fast enough, and existing school psychologists are also being outpaced by a steadily increasing influx of new students every year. This can contribute to burnout, which means some professionals just quit and leave the field altogether. But it also means that those who do stay are often burdened with heavy workloads that prioritize a small number of job functions. Often, all the evaluation testing and paperwork needed for special education placement, for example. And this can leave little or no time for much else.
But there are so many duties that a school psychologist performs, that they're certified to do, that they're qualified to do. And we have been really stressing this at our ESC level and through Miami University to schools in different districts. Of the benefits of having school psychs is more than testing. They can be to do counseling work. They can do support groups. They can work for multiple, what we call MTSS, those multiple tier systems of support. So these are just some different examples of what they should be utilizing, different supports and duties that they can do that they were not able to do. So a lot of them were getting very siloed. The workload, the stress was really increasing. So a lot were leaving the field or not going into the field. So we're teaching a different paradigm shift or a different perspective for school districts to utilize these school psychs.
That's Kimberly Jones, a Hamilton County ESC Intervention and Support Services consultant. She says that the much wider range of holistic mental health and behavioral supports that school psychologists are trained to provide can help alleviate a host of other dire problems, especially among youth. Recent CDC reports show that suicidal ideation and behaviors for these students are on the rise. In fact, suicide is now the second leading cause of death among high school students. That's exceeded only by unintentional injuries, by the way. Social isolation is increasing as well, and so are mood and behavioral disorders like depression, anxiety, and ADHD. Some reports now show that 1 in 5 middle and high school students now live with some kind of mental health condition, and many of those who never displayed symptoms before are now showing signs of struggle. Some of that may be COVID-related, but not all of it, even though the pandemic is now another new battlefront. Here's Renee Dalla. She's currently a school psychologist, and she's seeing firsthand what it's like for students today.
There's more kids who need behavioral services or counseling trauma services. There's just more of a need for that these days.
So what are some of the biggest issues that you see students are having now that you're trying to help them deal with?
I see a lot of anxiety. I work with a lot of kids who just can't cope with everything that's going on, whether it be, and that's also definitely increased by the pandemic and everything that's going on. They can't deal with all of the pressure from school and the homework and then going home and having 3 hours of homework and then sports and all the things that are going on. I feel like the most amount of kids I see is just they can't cope with their anxiety. And so I do a lot of anxiety counseling, some behavior problems for the younger kids. Just they have trouble regulating their emotions or regulating their bodies. And so they're just up and they're at them. They don't know how to kind of calm their bodies, more or less. Body regulation, emotional regulation. I'm seeing more struggles with that.
But the good news is that by employing a variety of early interventions, risk assessments, counseling, and more, school psychologists are the professionals who are best prepared to help these struggling students. And students who do need help with mental health are far more likely to seek and to receive support if it's offered in a school setting. And there are other benefits as well. The National Association of School Psychologists has shown that improving the ratio can lead to decreases in teacher stress and teacher burnout, which in turn lead to improved student learning outcomes and teacher retention. Plus, they can help build positive and encouraging school climates that can generate overall safer, more welcoming, and productive environments for everyone. They can do a lot, and some experts, like Dr. Christy Braun, a Miami University assistant professor of educational psychology, say that just raising this awareness of the field in general is a way to help.
School psychologists are often a hidden role because many people aren't familiar with the term or what we can do. So I really think it's the best kept secret in psychology, and really we need to build awareness for the field and the dynamic role that we can have in supporting students in schools.
The national school psychiatrist shortage is predicted to last through 2025, but plans are in place to turn the tide now. The partnership between Miami University and the Hamilton County ESC is addressing the issue on several fronts and in mutually beneficial ways that align with the strategic goals of each organization. So it's more than just a win-win. It's more like a win-win-win-win partnership pipeline. Here's how it works. The Hamilton County ESC works directly with local schools and districts to provide the specific services that will best serve students in each individual setting. And after identifying the school psychology shortage as a primary pain point, the ESC and Miami's Department of Educational Psychology came together. Here's Kimberly Jones again.
We are very pleased to be almost what I would call a preferred partner, and we treat Miami as a preferred partner because it is really growing, and it's been such a great experience to be creative, to come up with new innovative ways in which to help future educators, practitioners, along with the most important of all, serving and meeting the needs of students.
In 2019, Chris Perry became the first Miami graduate student to study coursework at the university, while also at the same time receiving comprehensive training and field experience through his ESC school placement. Since then, the partnership has expanded to include additional EdPsych graduate students, as well as new involvement from Miami's Department of Speech Pathology. Beyond just providing the much-needed extra assistance to local schools, the partnership is also increasing the quality and availability of professional development opportunities on all sides. Specialists employed by the county now offer guest lectures and share their experiences about current practices with Miami college students. And on the flip side, Miami faculty can now attend special ESC trainings and statewide events. And so far, it's been a success on every front. Here's Dr. Christy Braun again.
It's exceeded all of my expectations. Our connection to practice is improved. We're more aligned with state recommendations, and our students are more prepared to take a dynamic and collaborative role. So we're able to embed the training that Hamilton County provides into our classes rather than it just being something that they'll hear in the field later on. So we can really be proactive in preparing students.
And that's to help college students connect what they learn in the classroom to what they'll do after graduation, correct? To close that gap that often exists, right?
Yeah, more focus on applied practice and preparing for the actual job rather than just the job in theory.
So it's a win for local schools, which get the extra help and support they desperately need. It's a win for the ESC, which can rely on Miami to expand its recruitment pool. It's a win for the university, which improves its professional development, training opportunities, and course quality. And it's a big win for the college students, who get the kind of experiences that can lead to a job right after graduation, and who also get a much better understanding of all the different ways they can help more young students succeed and thrive.
It's a helping profession, and I've always really wanted to go into something that had to do with the societal aims of making the world a better place. And with children, it's just always a different day, a different experience every day that I really appreciate, while also working along, the societal grander goals of trying to make the world a better place.
We want to thank the Hamilton County Educational Service Center for their help with this story. And if you'd like to learn more about getting involved within the field of school psychology, you can visit Miami's Department of Educational Psychology. Just go to miamioh.edu/EDP.